Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday hump day. I can't believe how fast time is flying. It's amazing because we have gone through the NFL winter. Okay, we had the Super Bowl, and then it's the off season. It's the time we're crying about. Football is over with, and you know next week OTA start for the Cowboys, the 17th. 2 weeks from today, right now, we'll be loading up the SUV. We will be getting the guys together, and we'll be driving to Kansas City. Kansas City, here we come. Yeah, we're going to Kansas City in 2 weeks for the draft. This season is not that far away. I need to actually start the clock again. I think it's time because I guess it's because when you get old, your perception of a year changes. When you're 5 years old, 1 year of your life is a fifth of your life. Right now, 1 year of my life is a 57th of it. So that perspective changes. Maybe that's why time feels like it flies so fast when you get old. But anyway, we've got the YouTube package for the Red Zone numbers out. So YouTube TV. YouTube TV, I think, is $79 a month. The nice thing about YouTube TV, at least, is you don't have to have cable boxes. You don't have to have cable. You just have to have good internet. It's got regular channels and things. So, but you know that that's just the starting price. You know that that's going to change. That's going to continue to go up. It's kind of like Netflix. Remember how that used to be real, real cheap, and it seems like now every other month they end up increasing it. Yeah. Um, and now, of course, when everybody used to share it with everybody, now it's like, no, you got to all be in the same house. Yeah, the rules always change in these things. Um, right now, here's the deal with it. If you are a YouTube's TV subscriber, the regular price is $349 a year. But if you act now, it's $249 if you sign up for it before June 6th. Okay. If you want Red Zone with it, it's $389, so it's an additional $50. But you get a $100 discount if you do it before June, so that way they can get that money early. If you decide I don't want to have YouTube TV, I don't want YouTube TV. It's $449 for the season, or $349 for the early entry of it. So you can end up getting with Red Zone $489, $389 with the early fee. Now that is kind of pricey, but here's the thing I will say: having because we live stream all the time. Now here's the thing with the Cowboys: Cowboys are on every year at least 10 times, everywhere. I would say that this year, I think there's only like 3 games that weren't nationally televised. Now you can go through at some of the fake websites, and we get trolls that are always check this thing out, and they're probably scamming you and things, and they're delayed and so on. And for what I do, I need to be able to see the game. So, or the other option would be is you go to a bar and do it, in which case it's hard for me to do what I do on Sundays from somebody else's bar. So for me, I ended up having DirecTV the last 2 years. Wife hates the satellite dish on the roof, in which case, when I turned it off, the satellite dish is still on the roof, and my ass does not like to climb up on top of the roof to get rid of that thing. And it had problems last year. It had problems with some of the games, and it might be because they knew that we're losing it after this year, so we're not fixing that shit. But why? We're leaving. It's kind of like your lease is up, And it's like, you know what? That shit's rough. I'm not fixing that. Let it be somebody else's problem. Um, the other thing with DirecTV was you got to get the cable box, right? So you had to have one of those, in which case you're renting. You could stream on other devices, but football games, you could only stream one game. One game. That's it. So I had to have with DirecTV service, just like you do for DirecTV. It was $89 a month every month, and the only time I used the DirecTV was NFL Sundays for 2 years. Hated it. Hated it. Hated having the thing out there. Hated having to also then keep my regular TV because I didn't have the local games. So I ended up having a DirecTV box, a Verizon box, and then I'm running cables to all of the TVs outside. At least I will say that now you'll be able to stream 4 games at one time. Excuse me. I had a bit of a cold. Really cold last night and then hot during the day. If the streaming system works, for me, that's actually good. Because then I can just have the TVs, a smart TV or a Roku stick, and be able to move the TVs around, just be able to plug them in on the patio. The question is this going to be like Amazon? Amazon Prime, which had one game a week on Thursday night, had some terrible streaming experiences. And if you're streaming 4 games at the same time, will that be a problem with your router? Now, at my house, I pay Verizon for the highest speed one that they have. It's really, really good. I've got the booster downstairs in the basement. So for me, it should be okay. But if you are someplace that does not have great Wi-Fi, that might be a problem. And people are kind of pissed about this number. That's a lot to watch games. So I hate to say it, but I think the NFL, it's probably headed this way where it's going to be more pay-per-view. If you want your fix, you're going to be paying for it. So now you got to have your Amazon Prime if you want to see Thursday Night Shitfest. And now you got to have YouTube TV. Now I will say one other benefit for me is, at least because we're doing the red brick house here, I don't want to have cable TV there. If I have Amazon TV, at least I can take the TV with me there and go back and forth. When I travel, I at least have my television service that way. And I guess $79 a month plus if I get it early, the $249. It's not that bad. What I'll probably do is cut out some of the services with Verizon, and I was paying that anyway with DirecTV. At least I don't have a satellite dish. All right, so here's the thing that's interesting, and I'm talking about this because I'm enjoying triggering Eagle fans. Eagle fans they just love to be, how dare you say anything, you know? They just love to just go crazy. But I find it interesting that Jalen Hurts, that they're talking about a 7-year, $345 million deal. And Lamar Jackson can't get an extension or can't get a deal worked out, because I look at Lamar Jackson, who has been a league MVP, and has been, for the most part, the whole offense for the Baltimore Ravens, a team that seems to refuse to get him offensive weapons. that he can't get a deal. And you look at a guy like Jalen Hurts, who runs the ball as much, if not more, than Lamar Jackson. I think the worry with Lamar Jackson on getting one is nobody wants to pay. Nobody wants to do that long. Let's be clear here. Nobody wants to do a guaranteed contract for quarterbacks. They're trying to get rid of that. That's the first problem. But the second thing is you worry about the health of Lamar Jackson. Can he do this for multiple years, be that running quarterback, and take the abuse that he does? Because if he does, can't stay healthy, you're still on the change for the money. So it's interesting dynamic because you look at that with Hurts, and I'm not wishing injury on anybody. Don't say I am, Eagle fans. But you have to say you can only put yourselves in harm's way so much that sooner or later, when you keep going to the well, you're going to get some water. Here's the take on Odell. I'm amazed that Odell got $15 million guaranteed. He got more money than any receiver this offseason as a free agent. We figure that is the Baltimore Ravens saying, Lamar, we're trying to get you back. Let's get their take.
NRC is up with us early this morning, and D Wood, we're having a little trouble getting him up, but Damian Wood will be with us shortly as well. But let us start quickly there. We did a lot of connecting of the dots yesterday, just essentially assuming that if A, OBJ is going to Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
B, he and Lamar Jackson are posting screenshots of the two of them talking happy about being
Happy,
together.
happy, joy,
C,
joy.
he must know Lamar is playing there, even if the Ravens don't know Lamar is playing there. Are we going off the reservation?
Not at all. Very fair to connect those dots. I'll take it a step further. On Sunday night, they had dinner together at Prime 112 in Miami. Then they went and partied the night away at Live at Fontainebleau. Ryan Clark knows all about that. But these two guys,
hey man,
not only
I'm
just
grown and married. Don't put me in that.
I'm growing a bit.
I was waiting for that.
Look, you're one better than me, RC. At least you know what it is. I was just nodding as though I knew what he was talking about.
I was
Go
waiting
ahead.
for Ryan to interrupt.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, this is very clearly connected. This is not mere coincidence. The question, of course, is what the conversation between Odell and Lamar is. Is it, hey, Lamar tells Odell, I'm going to get you paid. I'm going to get you $15 million guaranteed so you can get there, but I can't make any promises that I'm going to be there. Very possible, but it feels much more likely that Lamar is saying that this is the guy I need. The Ravens are essentially saying, hey, if we're not going to give you the ring, we can at least shower you with gifts. And I think that that's what we're looking at here. This is a very good sign if you are a fan of the Baltimore Ravens. We are now at least in the space where it feels like Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are playing ball with each other. I think this is a great sign for both sides.
RC, help me with this, because it did feel when I was looking at that screenshot that Lamar posted, it's worth reminding everybody, that wasn't from OBJ's Instagram, that was from Lamar's Instagram that he posted that screenshot of the two of them. That's Lamar's feed that we're looking at there. So that seems to me, RC, like he's sort of saying, look who we got. And yet, inherent in that is that he's calling the Ravens we. Now, 2 weeks ago, he said goodbye to the city of Baltimore and the fans of the Ravens. So I'm having a little trouble putting those together, RC. Help me.
Hey, you know what? It's hard to be for the streets when the streets don't really want you like that. I mean, if you're Lamar Jackson and you're a former MVP, you're a guy that's done nothing but win in this league, you would think if the market opened up for you at least to have conversations with teams, that the market would heat up, that your phone would ring, that people would be sending you up text messages. But it hasn't seemed that that's been the case for Lamar. It's actually been the opposite. Teams coming out and saying publicly that they are not in the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes. And so now it's about what can I build in Baltimore? And if I have a little bit of a thought about the phone call between Lamar and Odell Beckham Jr., I'm pretty sure that phone call took place before Odell Beckham decided to become a Baltimore Raven, that he understood who was going to be playing quarterback for that team. And it probably went something like, hey, I'll go to Baltimore if you're the quarterback. And the quarterback probably said, well, if you'll be in Baltimore, I'll be there to throw you the football. And so we have it. We, as in the Baltimore Ravens, now have Odell Beckham Jr. and probably their quarterback Lamar Jackson, at least for this year.
All right, let me pin you down there, RC, because I just want to make sure that I'm understanding fully what you're saying. The fact that this has happened, does this suggest to you that Lamar Jackson now believes himself that he is one way or another going to play in Baltimore this year?
I believe he does. I believe he does. Listen, I'm not saying this from any conversation I've had with Lamar Jackson or his people. What I'm saying is, if you are posting the conversation with Odell Beckham Jr., I know Odell good enough and well enough to know that the Jets became a thing because of Aaron Rodgers. I know that the Los Angeles Rams were a thing because of Matthew Stafford. And he played with the Baker Mayfield and played with the quarterbacks in Cleveland that didn't allow him to be his best self. He's not going to put himself in another situation like that, no matter what the money is. The New York Jets were taking a while to get Odell Beckham Jr. signed. There's some uncertainty with what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. There's certainty now to me with the Baltimore Ravens is saying, I'm not going to call John Harbaugh. I'm not going to call Todd Monken. I'm not going to talk to anybody. So I'm not going to talk to DeCosta to tell me that Lamar Jackson's going to be there. I'm going to speak to Lamar himself. And if Lamar can give me that okay, if Lamar can say, yes, I will be there in the fall, then I'll be a part of that team. And I believe that's what happened with those two. So I expect to see 3 and 8 on the field together this fall.
Wow.
And it's not just about Lamar. It is a lot about Lamar, but you don't.
Wow. So, then that's good news for the Cowboys. At least Odell didn't go back to New York. At least he's in the AFC. All right, good people. It's time for me to get ready to go to work at the Red Brick House. And I can't wait to see how well we get. I get to see my buddy Jet D is coming over to do some work and help us as well. And we'll see how far we can get. I'm Marco, and I'll see you soon.